So our assignment is on women offenders. I actually think that this topic is pretty interesting. Just looking at the different statistics that I found on the UCR, it was very interesting the different categories that they had. So, like for example, probably the most surprising thing to me was women had more embezzlements than men did. I feel like typically we don't really hear about that too much. It's more of like men that we hear about. But according to this, um, it says that 600 or 6,000 men did embezzlements, and like 6,100 women embezzled, which just kind of shows that that women are more likely to lean towards something more technical. I feel like more and more not hands-on dirty, like they're going to beat someone up, not violent, but they're more typically in the mood for this type of crime. The only other higher one that I found was prostitution, which um, is sad, but I feel like that's not surprising. As we know, women tend to do prostitution more than men. Um, Another interesting thing was just the another one right here was I thought was interesting was the murder. Men murder a lot more than women. It says here, 7,000, you know, 7,000 people, um, men commit murder, while only 984 women have committed murder. That's a huge, huge difference, I feel like, which kind of shows how women don't get involved or don't put themselves in situations to hurt other people, which is good. It really is, but it also shows a lack male on males in general. I mean, it sounds and it looks like they can't control themselves. They have a lot of issues like anger, or they just I don't know if it's a dominance thing, but it's pretty bad. But um, another question that I had on here was like, what roles does mental illness play in cases of women who kill their children? That's very interesting. Mental illness is a huge thing right now, as we know, going, you know, in the prisons and everything like that, and with all these shootings, that are they mentally stable? Um, I think it does play a part in their cases, whether they plead insane or they don't. Um, but that is something that they can do. They can plead that they were mentally unstable, that they were mentally wrong. They're still going to do lots of time. That's unacceptable to kill your child in that way, and we're doing more psychological things to help that. But it's just interesting. But another violent crime, women participate in was it had on their like home, like invade not invasions, but like more of like a domestic violence. I can women typically do a lot of that just because it's whether with their kids or their husband or anything like that, they get upset. But that's something that they do, and you know, this was an interesting topic. I learned a lot from all these statistics on the UCR. I mean, it's crazy just the amount that's on there and the gap difference between all of them. But yeah, it was interesting. It was really cool. I really enjoyed looking this up.